Hi, and welcome back on Sports Cubby, Curious Harry and Arun Foot. We are simultaneously also watching the match is over, of course, but the last few moments from the Kerala Blasters and Jamshedpur FC match. Kerala Blasters have won 2-0. Amazing match, amazing. Sorry, 1-0? Didn't we just.
1-0.
Oh,
1-0.
1-1.
oh, I'm sorry. Amidst all the confusion, I thought कि second हो गया आपने बोला.
No. That was
I'm-
there's the final whistle.
Oh,
Final whistle.
I'm really sorry. I thought there was another goal which I missed out on completely. Amazing environment in the stadium. The Kerala Blasters fans know how to support their club. It's actually a treat to watch a match that features Kerala Blasters. Thank you everybody who've joined us today. Hiren, your first thoughts on the match?
Definitely atmosphere wise it's a great, and I think अगर परफॉर्मेंस वाइज भी देखें तो दोनों ही टीम इवनली दिखी. ऐसा नहीं था कि केरला ब्लास्टर सुपीरियर थी और जमशेदपुर कुछ नहीं कर पाई. आई थिंक जमशेदपुर पुट अप अ गुड फाइट. आई थिंक चांसेस अगर मैं बताऊंगा कि बेटर किसने बनाए, आई वुड गो विद जमशेदपुर. आई थिंक जमशेदपुर पे कुछ चांसेस थे दैट वर ब्रिलियंट. चिमाचुकू आई थिंक थोड़ा सा मेरे को आज लगा कि मिस फायर या फिर थोड़ा सा वो ग्रो में नहीं दिखा. अदरवाइज आई थिंक दे कैन ऑल्सो स्कोर अ गोल. तो आई थिंक इन दैट सेंस मजा आया. इवनली मैच था, ऐसा नहीं था कि एक टीम सुपीरियर थी एक टीम वैसी थी. तो आई थिंक इट्स ओवरऑल अ वेरी गुड गेम. थोड़ा स्लो पेस पे चल रहा था लेकिन ठीक है. आई थिंक एटमॉस्फेयर था वहां पे एंड ओवरऑल अ वेरी गुड गेम.
Arnava, your thoughts?
Not much to add actually. No, it was. I mean, the goal was brilliant. That was. The Adrian Luna is just lovely to watch. The twists and turns, the technical abilities that he has as a footballer, and in that combination, you saw three foreigners in the way that they influenced the lead. Daisuke, Luna, touch from Diamantakos who came in, and then Luna just scores. But one has to, on the other side, clearly say Jamshedpur were in this game, right? Scott Cooper had a plan, very good defensive setup. But as Hiren has said, I think Chimachuku needs to score off those chances that he gets. The Blasters are a little lucky that Jackson was allowed to play till the end. He had a number of situations where he could have been sent off. The last foul, clearly you have to give that as a yellow card if you like it or not. And so Jackson has to be careful because, again, if he does this for the Blasters, I look at it from an India perspective, he could do it in India shirt as well. So therefore, they have to be careful. But two good results for the Blasters, 6 points after 2 matches. Couldn't agree more, MKD. And the thing is that they needed that that Luna magic to get them over the line. If they didn't have that Luna magic, I think it would have ended goalless, and most probably that would have been a little bit more fair, I think, from a result perspective. I think because it was a 50-50 game with chances at both ends. But again, Luna is the difference, and Luna is one of the star players in this Indian Super League.
It also looks like Luna really enjoys himself in this team. He's having a good time on the field. What do you think is different for him this season?
I would say that, he's had problems in the family. His small daughter died, all these kind of things, which are a psychological burden. And I think he's now enjoying his football. He has the backing of his coach, or not only coach, but the whole coaching staff. The whole club is behind him. I saw him, when he ran out, he ran into Manish, who's not even part of the coaching staff, but more like I don't know if Manish is team manager or even something more. But to see that's always good to see. That there is this positive dynamics in a team. You saw him; he was just standing in front of the fans, and they were shouting "Luna, Luna." And all of this, and I mean, he said it recently in that interview, where he said, why would I go anywhere else? I'm getting paid on time. I'm being treated well by the club, and the fans love me, and he delivers. I think, and that is something that this guy, again, we have quite a few of these foreigners who've come into India and who are already part of ISL history, but deliver whenever they asked to. And Adrian Luna certainly now also wearing the captain's armband, even more sort of pressure on him to perform. But he does it again and again. The other day he put Gurpreet under pressure. Otherwise, that second goal does not happen. And that's a very good sign.
Navneet has a question. Thoughts on KBFC promoting youth players such as Nihal, Bibin, also the academy?
I think that's one of the things that they've done well, because you have a certain structure now in Kerala football with the Kerala Premier League that the Blasters reserve side also plays. I mean, I had the luck last season to commentate on a few matches from the Kerala Premier League, and all these players were playing in that league. Vibin has gone out and was with Ofi Crete, has had the opportunity to train in Greece and the Netherlands. You saw that when he came on. Ayman has grown in stature, really grown in stature. I saw him last season in the Kerala League. He wasn't that confident as he looks now. And Sachin, I think a lot of people were sort of surprised when they let go of Prabhsukhan Gill and banked on Sachin Suresh. And if you see him play so far, especially today, that shot from Ray saved them most probably the 3 points. The confidence that he has, they've done a lot of things right. So therefore, let's see. I think the Blasters seem to have cut the corners, and I think they got a lot of slack in the summer when they shut down their women's team. They've also reduced some spending on their youth system. But I think if they understand and see that how much value it has to invest and spend on youth players, I hope they will continue it. And Savenga says the KBFC fans, I mean, that is not even the 12th, 13th, I don't know how many number player that is, and they are and they have been successful and in the way that they support their team. And I think that what impresses me the most is with the Kerala Blasters fans is in season 10, this team has never won anything, right? Other teams around the world speak, your interest level goes up and down depending on if you're winning titles or not. This is what passion, this is what love for football is all about.
Regarding this, Hiren and Aruna, what is it that KBFC or the state of Kerala is doing right to get this kind of loyalty from the fans? Because we do not see the similar kind of engagement and we do not see the similar kind of numbers in which crowds are coming to other games in the ISL. So what is it that is being done right in the club?
आई थिंक जो मेरे को लगता है कि एक तो आप देखिए केरला में अगर क्रिकेटिंग वाइज देखे तो उतना ज्यादा क्रेज नहीं है कंपेयर टू अगर आप दूसरे नॉर्थर्न स्टेट ले लीजिए कि जहाँ पे क्रिकेट इज ए मोर डोमिनेट गेम अदर देन अदर स्पोर्ट्स. एंड केरला में आप देखिए दूसरे स्पोर्ट्स के लिए भी मतलब काफी जगह है. एंड आई थिंक वो एक रीजन है कि वहाँ पे जिस तरह से उन्होंने जो फुटबॉल को पहले से ही मतलब क्या बोलते कि वो देखना किया चालू, तो उसमें उनको पता चला कि भाई क्लब फुटबॉल को किस तरह से सपोर्ट करना क्या होता है. यहाँ पे अगर आप देखें नॉर्थ में कोई भी क्लब बनेगा फुटबॉल का, अगर फैन बेस भी बनेगा, लेकिन जो एक माइंडसेट है वो आपका एक क्रिकेट के साथ एसोसिएटेड, तो आप ज्यादा मतलब नेशनल टीम या फिर क्लब के साथ. ये जो सर ने बात बोली बिल्कुल सही है कि आप देखिए कि 10 साल में एक भी टूर्नामेंट ना जीतने के बावजूद भी जिस तरह का सपोर्ट है. मोहन बगान के पास देखिए, मोहन बगान ईस्ट बंगाल बैक स्टेज भी बात कर रहे थे, नो डाउट इज अ ग्रेट फैन बेस विदाउट अ डाउट. उनके पास भी मतलब केरला ब्लास्ट के साथ टक्कर ले सके इतना फैन बेस है. लेकिन वो आप एक जो आप देखते हो जिस तरह की सपोर्ट केरला ब्लास्टर को मिल रही है, आई डोंट थिंक सो कि वो मोहन बगान या फिर ईस्ट बंगाल भी प्रोड्यूस कर पा रहा है. सो करंटली आई थिंक दे आर द टॉप लेवल, उसमें कोई डाउट नहीं है. एंड आई थिंक दूसरे स्टेट्स में भी ऐसी चीज होनी चाहिए दूसरे क्लब्स के साथ भी कि आपको एक पैशन और वो सब दिखाना चाहिए अपने क्लब के लिए. दिस ऑल अबाउट फुटबॉल. क्योंकि आप देखिए बाहर की लीग्स में भी जैसे हम देखते हैं कि भाई हर क्लब तो टूर्नामेंट नहीं जीतता, वहां पे भी लोअर रैंक क्लब्स है, लेकिन उनके भी आप देखिए फैंस आते हैं, सपोर्ट करते हैं. सो डेफिनेटली दूसरे स्टेट्स को ये सीखना चाहिए कि किस तरह से यहाँ पे केरला में फुटबॉल ऑपरेट हो रहा है, किस तरह से वो लोग ये सारी चीजें कर पा रहे हैं.
Sushmit has mentioned the administration.
Administration is one of the, I think definitely one of the crucial part की जो मतलब उसमें रोल प्ले करता है.
but I have to still say, again, a lot of praise for the Blasters fans. That what I felt a little disturbing was when the Blasters fans turn up to India matches and rather are Blasters fans than India fans. I saw that in the 2019 Asian Cup where they sit as a block and want to be visible as Blasters fans. I do understand that, but when you're supporting India, you should be turning up in blue. And
Blue.
these are the kinds of things I've told a few friends of mine who are Blasters fans, who are amongst the
ये सर कांतिरवा में भी देखने को मिला था, वहां पे भी मतलब बेंगलुरु के फैंस अपने आप को वो दिखाना चाहते थे,
Saf
बाकी जो
Cup
में
I
भी
saw
होता
that
है।
as well.
हाँ,
So that's a point. Again, within India, I understand it, abroad bhi ho raha hai. So it's for me is it's something which I feel again where the fans come together, and it's rather has been sort of a thing that there more differences than when you're together. But again, from an ISL perspective, the Blasters fan story is one of the few real huge successes. I'm saying huge successes of the league. I think most other clubs are struggling when it comes to those kind of numbers. FC Goa gets a certain number. Mumbai City is now able to fill a 7,500 sort of stadium as well. Again, and the others, Northeast, good example. We were talking about a few hundred last season towards the end, when they were already out of reckoning for top 6. So therefore, I think again there is fan interest, but again it has to grow. And but again, there's this other point about what's the state of that stadium. I think that's something that's that. And Anurag says, yeah, recent results. That's the reason why they don't turn up. Well, again, the Blasters haven't won anything, right? I mean, they've been in ISL finals, but and that's something. And Shushmit, you're right. Also, the Kolkata, the legacy aspect, of course, that the big three are the biggest clubs in India, and they're untouchable, sort of doesn't work. So therefore, there's a lot of things to be done when it comes to fan culture and understanding.
I think legacy उनके पास एडवांटेज होना चाहिए legacy का, कि आप उसको किस तरह से मार्केटिंग
But
यूज
it's
करके
a
आप
disadvantage. उसके लिए actually in the Kolkata it's a disadvantage because you are not losing your legacy in the positive way.
Positive, exactly.
So that's the thing. And Asim Kumar about Union Berlin, yeah, I mean that's a different level, right? Union Berlin now playing Champions League, signing players like Bonucci, Gosens from top sides in the Serie A, played in Real Madrid last week, and there were more feeling wise Union fans in Madrid than Real fans. That's exceptional. And of course, the club was nearly gone from the German football scene, where the clubs the fans raised money and the fans rebuilt the stadium. The current stadium has been rebuilt by the fans. I mean, this is again, but that's German fan culture. I think that's very unique in certain aspects, in certain ways, how people get involved and support their clubs. But again, I think and again, yeah, the Blasters are a great story, and when it works, again, as it is, it's all positive. When it doesn't work, when you have that situation regarding that Bengaluru match, we all remember towards the end of last season, it got very, very toxic. I mean, you're not being sensible in your opinions. You're just blindly supporting your club and your coach, and that is the danger that we have in Indian football very often, right?
But not just in Indian football, I think it's worldwide.
It's a overall thing.
No, it's a global thing, but we're dealing with more about it at the moment, and you see it, and but I think it's something where you have a growing fan culture, and maybe some of these negatives which are there in other parts of the world could have been avoided. And we're doing exactly the same mistakes, right? It's like with pyros and all that stuff, which again, if in it doesn't work. And again, you use the right ones. And CK Paul saying in Germany, fans are the owners of all the clubs. No, it no longer is there, because all of them have either a PLC or a stock listed company which is actually running the club independently of the club, right? So therefore, these are the things.
Yeah.
I don't agree to that Ishan point about having lost a few players. I think they strategically sold players. I think they strategically sold players to generate revenue. And if I see also for these players, if I see a Sahal at Mohun Bagan, I think Sahal at the moment is playing better at Mohun Bagan than at what he was playing at Kerala Blasters. Prabsukan is a very, very good, very, very good goalkeeper. But Sachin Suresh, I mean, the goalkeeping coach will have surely had that trust in that goalkeeper who's had no ISL experience before this season. So therefore, in that way, selling Jessel Canero, who was your captain. So therefore, they knew what they're doing. The football people within the club knew what they were doing, and so far, it's working for them.
Hitting two back-to-back wins for Kerala Blasters. Do they need to change anything, or they should just continue the way they are?
लास्ट सीजन में आप देखिए उनका होम फॉर्म है वो बढ़िया ही रहा था. आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ द मैचेस जो होम के थे उन्होंने विन किए थे. द मेन इश्यू फॉर देम इज द अवे मैचेस एंड दैट्स द चैलेंज फॉर दिस सीजन आल्सो बिकॉज. और आप देखिए एड्रियन लूना ने नो डाउट आज जिता दिया, सही चीज है, लेकिन जब एड्रियन लूना नहीं होगा या फिर वो जब आउट ऑफ फॉर्म होगा, वो विल टेक द रिस्पांसिबिलिटी. दैट्स द बिगेस्ट इश्यू फॉर देम आई थिंक, जो मेरे को लगता है. एंड अभी भी मेरे को बैकलाइन जो है केरला ब्लास्टर की, वो अभी भी मेरे को लगता है कि दैट्स द नॉट द सेटल बैकलाइन आई वुड से, जो मतलब अभी सेटल हो रही है. क्योंकि आपका कीपर भी, आप जैसे सर ने बोला कि सचिन सुरेश इज फर्स्ट टाइम प्लेइंग एज ए फर्स्ट चॉइस कीपर इन आईएसएल. आप पूरी नई बैकलाइन आपने बनाई है. लेस्कोविच आपका इंजर्ड है एंड लेस्कोविच का एक स्टेट आया कि पिछले 17 में से वो 11 मैच उसने मिस किए हैं केरला ब्लास्टर के लिए. सो दैट्स द वन ऑफ द इश्यू कि उसके साथ मतलब इंजरी का रहा है. सो वो एक एरिया लगता है मेरे को, क्योंकि अवे मैचेस में आई थिंक योर डिफेंस हैज टू बी रियली रियली स्ट्रांग. एंड आई थिंक वो अगर एरिया है, अगर वहाँ पे वो स्टेबल हो जाते हैं, देन आई थिंक अवे मैच में भी वो रिजल्ट प्रोड्यूस कर पाएंगे. एंड यू हैव टू मतलब रियली स्ट्रांग इन दी अवे परफॉर्मेंस आल्सो. अगर आपको आईएसएल में जीतना है तो नॉट ओनली रिलाई ऑन दी होम मैचेस. सो होम में तो आई थिंक शुरुआत अच्छी हो चुकी है. दैट्स अ गुड थिंग. एंड विदाउट दिवांता कोस, पिछले मैच में दिवांता कोस नहीं थे, इस मैच में आके इम्पैक्ट डाला. सो दैट्स अ ग्रेट पॉजिटिव. नेक्स्ट मैच से ब्राइस मिरांडा, राहुल केपी भी टीम को ज्वाइन कर लेंगे, टीम सीट में आ जाएंगे. एंड तो वो भी एक एक्स्ट्रा आपको क्या बोलते हैं कि अटैकिंग फोर्स में आपको ऐड हो जाएगा. सो वो भी एक बढ़िया बात है. एंड लेस्कोविच भी आई थिंक डेफिनेटली 2-3 मैच के बाद अवेलेबल हो जाएंगे. तो आई थिंक ओवरऑल आई थिंक ये जो सारे प्लेयर्स है, ऐसे प्लेयर है कि जो आपके स्टार्टिंग 11 के प्लेयर बन सकते हैं. सो उस सेंस में आई थिंक अवे मैच, आई थिंक नेक्स्ट पंजाब के सामने ही है उनका अवे मैच. सो दैट विल बी इंटरेस्टिंग मैच टू सी. एंड लेट्स सी कि किस तरह से अवे फॉर्म रहता है. दैट विल बी द क्रूशियल टू सी उसके जो इस सीजन की जर्नी रहेगी उसमें.
Is Sharma injured?
लारा शर्मा इंजर्ड नहीं था. हाँ, लारा शर्मा भी इंजर्ड हो चुका था. हाँ, इंजर्ड था वो.
And the point is again, the Blasters will get better, but Hiren raises a very important point in my opinion, which is the Blasters are two teams. One is at home, one is away, and you will not have this power, this energy when you play away from home. It adds, I don't know, 10%, 20% to you when you have this yellow army sort of pushing, urging you on. It's something very, very special. And I think that I mean, one has to be also honest. The Blasters haven't played that well. They've got the results. It's a little similar to what I would have said to Mohun Bagan as well, right? 6 points on the board, but you haven't played the best of your games. And let's see where it takes us.
जोनी कोको भाई अभी भी इंजर्ड है भाई. वो अभी तो जनवरी तक तो उसका चांस नहीं है आने का.
So from that perspective, I think Blasters have done well. And again, some of the teams, the fixtures have favored them because some of them started now with 2 home games. It didn't favor other teams who had to start with 2 away games. So let's see in the next 2 weeks, next week, what happens before the first break.
Yeah. Coming to Jamshedpur FC, what are the things that they can do better? Because as we discussed already, they have क्या हो गया? You're reading the same comment that I'm reading.
I didn't want to react, but I realized you two read it as well. Yeah.
Guys, I know Liverpool lost yesterday. It was a very sad event, but I'm trying to move on from it. so the comment section is not really helping. But yeah, Jamshed FC, Jamshedpur FC, they did
Sorry.
play well. Please,
Yeah.
guys, it feels bad.
Should we talk about EPL now quickly and then come back to Indian football, or is it fine with you, Akshata?
No, but okay. I also have a question to all the people who are watching
Yeah.
this. Are you happy with the timing of the ISL? Because personally, I have realized that that 8 p.m. matches every day for me is not possible. I'm struggling to watch all the matches because it clashes with so many things, and I don't know. I mean, somehow it's just not working out for me. So, I mean, is everybody else happy with daily matches at 8 p.m.? Are you able to follow the ISL properly because of it? Sorry or no?
4:30 in Germany is perfectly fine. Yeah, so I'm fine with it.
But for others, I would love to know about other people's opinion on this. And again,
No.
so coming.
लेकिन आप नहीं वो डेफिनेटली थोड़ा सा मतलब ये जो 8 बजे का टाइम है वो इंडियन कल्चर के हिसाब से देखेंगे तो उस टाइम पे मतलब जनरली वो भी है थोड़ा सा लेकिन आप देखिए ऑप्शन भी आपके पास ज्यादा है नहीं अब ऑप्शन भी है नहीं क्योंकि ज्यादा लेट कर नहीं सकते अदरवाइज तो मतलब जो स्टेडियम की अटेंडेंस है वो और भी कम हो जाएगी ज्यादा लेट आप इससे तो ज्यादा जा ही नहीं सकते वो वाला सीन भी है एंड अर्ली कितना कर लोगे आप मतलब 7:30 तो लास्ट सीजन भी था 7 कर सकते हो आप उससे अर्ली तो कितना जाओगे
It's the point is for whom is what more advantageous. Again, Anurag says he's happy because he comes back home after work and can watch it. So on the other side, for other people, 8 o'clock is too late because the match ends at 10. So, you know, it infringes on dinner time and other things and, you know, interacting maybe with the family. I felt, and mindset, I agree with you. I felt 7:30 is a good compromise. I mean, you're not too early, you're not too late. Matches finish by 9:30, 9:35. So most cities you will get transport home. So I think that's the question. I think I don't know. I've not read anything about it, but if I'm right, then this was something that was discussed with the broadcast and therefore it was pushed backward. So yeah, that's why we've got these 8 o'clock kickoffs. But again, in Kolkata, it has been a huge discussion. Both first Mohun Bagan, Supergiant, then now East Bengal FC had written to the government. So there are extra buses. The metro runs 2 special trains, which are normal in most cities during the IPL. But in the IPL, the franchises actually pay for transport for their fans to some extent, right? So there is, in Kolkata, it extends till midnight because they have an 8 o'clock kickoff as well of the IPL, which used to also have early kickoff. That's why I think 7:30 is most probably the best compromise that you can make, that all are happy. But again, if you start at 7:30, what happens with the double headers? Then you have to start early. Then you're starting in daylight. So yeah, sometimes it's difficult. Again, scheduling. If you see, for example, in La Liga, that for example,
9 p.m.
10 p.m.
10 p.m. 10 p.m. 10 p.m. है वहाँ पे.
But in Sevilla, for example, in Andalusia, where it gets 45 degrees in the day, do you want to have it 4 o'clock kickoff?
हाँ, वहाँ पे नहीं कर सकते.
So these, you know, and that's the point. Yes, Navneet, again, yes, KBFC fans, the Manjaparas are very well organized in that way, that they're doing all of these things, and that, you know, there are fans who are traveling from Malappuram for every home game. So, you know, from other districts as well, from outside of Kochi and Ernakulam. So again, that is growing, and that's great fan culture, and that's, I think, what we need.
I think Aruna sir, the most interesting thing would be if another clubs from Kerala comes into the ISL, then there will be a more interesting part to see if they get the same fan base, or what they will be a rivalry.
It will be a test if Gokulam Kerala can get promoted. And that would be interesting because, again, Gokulam playing in I-League in Kozhikode, that stadium has not been filled, right? So therefore, you know, they would have to do a little bit of work and you know, activate the fans, and you know, and especially, you know, Malappuram is not too far away. So let's see.
ये कोमल थट्टल वाला कमेंट ले लीजिए.
Komal Thattal was injured as far as I know. I remember he was
Okay.
somewhat injured. I don't know if he's fit again.
ओके, स्क्वाड में तो नहीं था, या तो वही रीजन हो सकता है, या तो
Just as far as I know, I think he's not been fit. So, sorry, he was injured. But then again, Komal Thattal has been in and out, and that's one of those stories, right? He was during the Under-17 World Cup a few years ago. I felt overhyped. You put too much of expectations on the boy. You didn't allow him to evolve and develop. And again, it's how many Messis have we've had at Barcelona post Lionel Messi, and nobody has made it actually. The latest Ansu Fati is now in Brighton and not even playing in Brighton.
The Sports 18 thing. Apart from the Sports 18, I also have my own concerns about Jio Cinema and Jio TV on how they are showing the matches, because a lot of things are getting missed now because they have so many properties. So they'll have to find a way out to make sure that.
सर वो जियो क्या बोलते हैं, ये स्टार के साथ डील हो जाएगी तो सॉर्ट आउट हो जाएगा.
If they intend on buying this Disney Hotstar.
Otherwise तो ये मैसअप ही होगा. क्योंकि आपके
Because
पास उतना ज़्यादा है नहीं.
Right now, and even the quality on Jio Cinema for that matter, they really need to work on it, because the streaming quality keeps going up and down even when you are on a high network area. तभी भी ये हो रहा है. And it's something that's been ongoing. So yeah, that is one. Yes, so quickly before we move on to the next topic that we'll decide for tonight, Jamshedpur FC, what are the things that they need to do better in the upcoming matches?
आई थिंक मेरे को जो लगा है पिछले 2 मैचेस से, ईस्ट बंगाल और इस मैचेस में, आई थिंक टेक्निकली दे हैव ए प्लान. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि आई थिंक स्कोर ऊपर उस सेंस में अच्छा खिलाया है टीम को. एंड आई थिंक वो मिस कर रहे हैं, आई थिंक जो फाइनल जो एक फिनिशिंग है उनकी टीम की ओर से, क्योंकि ईस्ट बंगाल के सामने भी देखिए उन्होंने अच्छे चांस क्रिएट करे थे, ऐसा नहीं था कि चांसेस नहीं बनाए थे. सो टीम भी उनके पास कुछ एक्साइटिंग टैलेंट्स वो लाए हैं जो कि वर्क कर रहे हैं. निखिल बालरा है, एमिल बेनी एज ए बेंच से आए थे, निखिल एंडोंगमा आ रहा है, वो भी अच्छा कर रहा है. सो जो इंडियन प्लेयर्स भी उनके आ रहे हैं यंगस्टर, वो भी इम्पैक्ट डाल रहे हैं. एंड जो फॉरेनर्स है एल्सिन्यो और उन सब, उन्होंने भी अच्छा आई थिंक एक सेटअप यहाँ पे सेट हो चुका है. सो आई थिंक नाउ द ओनली थिंग दे आर मिसिंग इज द फिनिशिंग. एंड जैसे ही वो फिनिशिंग आ जाएगी, आई थिंक दे विल पुट अप अ गुड फाइट अगेंस्ट टॉप टीम्स ऑल्सो. सो आई थिंक ऑर्गेनाइज, बिल्कुल आई थिंक ऑर्गेनाइज डिफेंसिवली दे आर वेरी गुड ऑर्गेनाइज्ड. सो आई थिंक दे आर लुकिंग, मतलब किसी ने एक्सपेक्ट नहीं किया था. कल हैदराबाद वाला भी गेम देख लीजिए, आई थिंक हैदराबाद भी लग रहा था कि भाई कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा, लेकिन आई थिंक ईस्ट बंगाल के सामने अच्छा खेले वो. मतलब दैट वाज आल्सो वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग गेम. सो आई थिंक दीस टू टीम्स आर, मतलब इस सीजन एक बात अच्छी लगी मेरे को कि कोई भी टीम ऐसा नहीं लग रहा है कि बिल्कुल मतलब ये इनका सीजन स्टार्ट होते ही खत्म हो गया. आई थिंक एवरीवन इज शोइंग पोटेंशियल कि यहाँ पे हम किसी को भी अपसेट कर सकते हैं. So Jamshedpur का भी सेम है.
I think Jamshedpur, the key player is Elzinho at the back.
Yes, exactly.
Top Brazilian centre back, who is also making players like Pratik Chaudhary look decent. I mean that is not easy. Pronoy, yeah, of course he has 2 yellow cards after 2 games, but still Pronoy kept that together again. And Chimachukwu has not found his scoring boots yet. Stefanovic had his moments, Mansoro had his moments as well. But these guys need to get their act together, because if those 3 players get their act together with the young talented Indians around, then we mentioned Nongdongba, Nikhil and also Emil Benny, not to forget Len Dungal and others. They're a decent squad. And I think they would be difficult to beat at home. If they have the fan support in Jamshedpur, they'll not be an easy squad to beat. And I think Scott Cooper is getting more and more time to work with his team. So therefore, yeah, interesting to see.
Same sir for the Hyderabad also. Jao Victor, another Brazilian, is holding their team also. I think that was also.
But Jao Victor has been holding the team for years now, na? Jao Victor has been a very, very key element even under Manolo, and has been one of the best defensive players in this league over the last few seasons. So that's been quality. He's been a quality player.
Yeah, Anurag has a question on the midfield of JFC today.
They did sometimes, and sometimes they didn't, because I think they dropped back deep and allowed the Blasters a lot of space in midfield. Sometimes, but the attacking players sometimes were actually not tracking back properly. But overall, it looked okay, and they were trying to hit them on the counter. And there you sometimes saw Jeekson exposed. If he's sort of like Vibin was more of an 8 than a 6. And Jeekson got a little bit exposed in that. I thought Pritam Kotal had overall a good game. Probir was much more controlled today. He was a little wild in the last match. So therefore, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. So now coming to the topic that a lot of people want us to get right away into, which is the AFC Cup. Two
I
very
thought Premier
important
League.
matches.
We are.
Two very
No, I
important.
just a question in between before we get into that. After what people saw yesterday with Liverpool and Tottenham, is
I
everyone
know the
still
question.
wanting VAR?
We are light.
हाँ then तो light होगा ना, ऐसे हो रहा है ना. So therefore, again, I just want to remind people who've been criticizing the referees a lot in India is that even with VAR, as long as there's that human element, mistakes will happen, right? And that's one of the sad parts of this, the human element of mistakes. But mistakes will sadly happen, so therefore they'll happen. So therefore, a little bit more trust in our referees would be very, very nice. But yeah, that's me.
A little bit more accountability also would be
The
nice.
referees have been banned, right? So
next
that's your
match नहीं है.
accountability. So they're losing money, no? They're physically losing money now.
और
Okay,
इसमें
so
क्या होता है, रेफरी के डिसीजन में क्या होता है कि हमारी टीम के साथ होता है तो बहुत बुरा लगता है, अगर दूसरी टीम के साथ होता है तो भी ठीक है, अब सही जगह सभी जगह पे सही है, तो वाली चीज है.
okay. So coming to the second topic of tonight, which is the AFC Cup, two very important matches tomorrow. First is at 5:30 p.m. Odisha versus Basundhara Kings. Second is at 7:30 p.m. Mohun Bagan versus Mazia. Both will be available on fan code, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Yes. So you can buy the entire package of AFC Cup on fan code or an individual match pass. Hiren, your predictions, your views, what are your thoughts?
First match is Odisha versus Basundhara, and Basundhara is already, both the teams have lost their first AFC Cup matches. Odisha Mohun Bagan से हारी थी and Mazia से Basundhara King 3-1 से हारी थी, तो both the teams are looking for that winning start in the AFC Cup. ओडिशा के लिए जो आई थिंक मेरे को एक एडवांटेज लगता है कि जो लास्ट परफॉर्मेंस उसका मुंबई सिटी के साथ आया, आई थिंक वो एक थोड़ा सा एक क्या बोलते कि टीम को साथ में लाने में और एक रिदम फाइंड करने में काफी इंपॉर्टेंट था मेरे हिसाब से, क्योंकि एक हाई क्वालिटी टीम के साथ आप खेलते हो तो एक वो कॉन्फिडेंस भी बढ़ता है. सो आई थिंक वसुंधरा के साथ इट्स गोइंग टू बी इंटरेस्टिंग मैच, एंड आई थिंक अवे पे खेल रहे हैं, सो दैट विल बी द really interesting to see, क्योंकि फैन बेस वसुंधरा का आई थिंक वन ऑफ द टॉप क्लब इन बांग्लादेश, सो आई थिंक फैन बेस भी काफी जबरदस्त होगा उनका, एंड सर्जियो लोबेरा के लिए चैलेंज होने वाला है. आई थिंक मोर्तादा फॉल इस मैच को मिस करेंगे, क्योंकि लास्ट मोहन बगान वाले मैच में उसको रेड कार्ड मिला था. सो दैट विल बी द इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग टू सी कि किसके साथ वो एज अ सेंटर बैक पेयर में जाएंगे, डेलगाडो के साथ किसको उतारेंगे. सो वो एक देखना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि इस तरह की मैचेस में आपको जो बैकलाइन है आप चाहते हो कि सिक्योर चाहिए, एंड मोस्ट ऑफ दी हमने जो आईएसएल कोची से उसको देखा है कि एफसी कप या फिर एफसी कंपटीशन में दे गो विद द फॉरेन सेंटर बैक पेयर्स. सो आई थिंक वो एक चैलेंज उनके लिए रहने वाला है, बट आई थिंक ओडिशा इज मेरे को लगता है कि निकाल लेगी फिर भी मैच, मे बी ड्रॉ भी हो सकता है, बट आई एम सीइंग रिजल्ट समथिंग लाइक 2-1 victory to Odisha FC.
Arnav?
It's a tricky one for Odisha. Odisha are under pressure after the Mohun Bagan game. They will have to replicate the performance they did the other day against Mumbai City, because I think Basundhara also are in the hunt for the points after losing at Mazia, which to me comes as a surprise. I would have rated Basundhara higher than Mazia. So therefore, these two clubs are playing somewhat already for survival in this group of the AFC Cup. So therefore, again, whoever loses nearly is out, even though, of course, last season also Mohun Bagan had lost their first match against Gokulam. But again, Basundhara is a solid team. Oscar Bruzon, experienced coach, has coached in India as well. But Odisha have the potential and the manpower to overcome such an opponent. And it would be interesting to see if they, for example, up front would play a combination of Diego Mauricio and Roy Krishna. Right, that would be interesting to see if that happens. And yeah, both teams have quality, a lot to play for. So hoping for Odisha to win this one.
There's a question from Xavier. If tomorrow Mohun Bagan and Odisha win their matches, how much points will India earn AFC club competition ranking? Will it be divided because of India having to play in the same group?
It will be divided anyway via the team number of teams, right? So therefore, it doesn't matter who you're playing. So as long as you're getting points, it's fine. But again, India's ranking at the moment is so, and the structure from next season is so that we're nowhere near Champions League. We would have to. I think both the teams would, which is not possible. Both the teams would need to get out of the group. Mumbai City needs to most probably get into the quarterfinal of the Champions League. Then maybe massive points.
नेक्स्ट सीजन तो मुश्किल है. नेक्स्ट सीजन इज ओनली वे टू विन द एएफसी कप. इस सीजन कोई एएफसी कप जीते मोहन बगान या ओडिशा में से, तो ही उसको नेक्स्ट सीजन शायद वो प्लेइंग उसमें मिलने वाला है, प्लेऑफ में. वो भी प्लेऑफ में, डायरेक्ट ग्रुप स्टेज में तो वहां पे भी नहीं मिलेगा.
Exactly. This season, last season's AFC Cup winners got a place in the Champions League. So that's the problem of a 40-team Champions League being reduced to a 24-team Champions League or Champions League 1, because there's also then a Champions League 2, which will then be the future AFC Cup. So yeah, things change.
Hemendra and Arunava, can you quickly maybe also explain the importance of AFC Cup and Champions League in terms of Indian football's growth? Because a lot of new fans, we tend to give more importance to something like an Asian Games, but that does not affect our ranking or our clubs or our national status in world football. But these competitions do. So if you could quickly explain the significance of these tournaments.
So there are, again, you have to structure it independently. National teams are run, of course, the competitions by the continental bodies, which in India's case is the Asian Football Confederation. But the ranking system is run centrally by FIFA for the whole globe. So therefore, FIFA matches, for example, a World Cup match has the highest coefficient continental competition, which means in our case the AFC Asian Cup in January, that is the second highest. Then there are World Cup qualifiers, Asian qualifiers. SAF comes in with something which is a regional competition, which in most parts of the world you don't even have regional competitions. And then you have the friendlies, which is you win some, you lose some. So even tournaments like Kings Cup, Merdeka Cup, Tri-Nation, Intercontinental Cup, their value is the most minimal.
उसका तो सिर्फ नाम के कप है ना, वो तो वैसे इंटरनेशनल फ्रेंडली ही है.
They're friendlies. De facto they are friendlies. So therefore they have the most minimal number of points and minimal impact. But again, in our case, us losing in the Kings Cup twice, and also especially losing against Lebanon, meant that Lebanon and India have switched places again, where we had overtaken Lebanon earlier this year.
By the way, sir, today Lord Baker question is good. Hong Kong beat Iran in Asian Games and reach into the semi-final. That's a big upset.
That's amongst the biggest upsets that Asian football would most probably have had in the recent past. And also Saudi losing to Uzbek, no? That just a warning sign to us that we are playing Uzbekistan in January.
Uzbekistan, right? Exactly.
or Mumbai City playing Navbahar on Tuesday. So Mumbai City have arrived there. I don't know if you've seen those lovely videos, how they were welcomed by people. There were people standing literally with Navbahar flags and all that stuff. Everyone got a flower and everything. Looked very nicely done over there.
Aruna, your predictions for tomorrow's matches in the AFC Cup?
See, I would think Odisha will win 2-1 or 3-1. Mohun Bagan Mazia is an interesting one. These teams have met in the past. And Mazia has not been pushovers. And Mazia beating Basundhara is a tricky one, I feel. But Mohun Bagan are playing at home. And at home, at the Salt Lake, they're a superpower. So I expect them at least a 2-0 win for Mohun Bagan.
एंड मोहन बगान के लिए एक एडवांटेज है कि वो रेगुलर लास्ट एएफसी कप मैच से रेगुलर खेलते आ रहे हैं, जबकि आई थिंक माजिया ने कोई अभी लीग उसका स्टार्ट नहीं हुआ. आई थिंक वो मैचेस बीच में नहीं खेले, वो डायरेक्ट मतलब वसुंधरा वाला मैच था और उसके बाद तुरंत ये मैच खेल रहे, तो 10-12 दिन का वो भी गैप आ चुका है. सो आई थिंक वो भी एक फैक्टर रहेगा कि इनफॉर्म टीम है एंड एक रिदम वाली टीम है मोहन बगान, सो वो भी एक फायदा है उनके लिए. एंड स्क्वाड रोटेशन भी आई थिंक अच्छी तरीके से यहाँ पे पिछले आईएसएल मैचेस में किया है जॉन फेरांडो ने. तो आई थिंक डेफिनेटली मोहन बगान इज द फेवरेट. पूरे ग्रुप में ही मतलब वो फेवरेट है जाने के लिए. तो आई थिंक माजिया के सामने भी डेफिनेटली दे आर गोइंग एज अ फेवरेट. मैं देख रहा हूँ इस मैच में 3-1 विक्ट्री टू मोहन बगान.
So I'm just checking. I wanted to check, which was, it's crazy. The last time they played, Mazia won 5-2 at home and 1-0 away to Mohun Bagan.
Mohun Bagan,
2017. Yes. And in 2016, Mohun Bagan had won 2-1 in the Maldives, but 1-1 in Kolkata.
लास्ट ईयर भी नहीं भिड़े थे क्या वो? लास्ट ईयर भी वही ग्रुप में था ना माजिया भी?
नहीं, I think TC Sports Club था लास्ट सीजन ना.
मोहन बगान, गोकुलम केरला, वसुंधरा, ये तीन तो थे ही थे. चौथा माजिया ही था शायद.
One second. Just reconfirming before I say something wrong. हाँ, माजिया ही था.
हाँ, लास्ट टाइम माजिया ही था. यही मतलब एक गोकुलम केरला की जगह पे ओडिशा आया है.
And also it was a 2-5 loss. So therefore, again, I think Mohun Bagan has the power. Again, yes, Lord Baker confirms 5-2. Yeah, that was the game.
उज्बेकिस्तान, यस भाई, वो नौबहर उन्होंने ड्रॉ किया था लीलाल के सामने. साहिल भाई, आई थिंक जो तो ये लोग जो लॉजिक देते हैं काफी सारे लोग कि हमने जैसे कतार को हराया, ड्रॉ किया था, तो हम इसके सामने ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं. तो उस लॉजिक से तो फिर हमने सऊदी अरेबिया ने हमको हराया और उज्बेकिस्तान ने उनको हरा दिया, तो हमारा भी एशियन कप में खत्म ही है. टाटा भाई. उज्बेकिस्तान इज वन ऑफ द कंट्री जो मोस्ट रैपिड ग्रोइंग इन एशियन फुटबॉल. आई थिंक
they have been a major side in Asian football, but they've never reached the World Cup. That's the only thing that they've missed. Asian Cup भी अच्छा किया, Asian Games में अच्छा करता है, but youth level they've won competitions, but they've never qualified for a World Cup. But again, this logic doesn't work. And again, Saudi 2-0, I'll take it any day, because if you see the second half, it could have been 4, 5, 6, 7. So therefore, ठीक है, 2-0 is fine.
इंडियन स्पोर्ट्स में साफ क्लब चैंपियनशिप भाई नेक्स्ट ईयर से बात करने की बरसों से बात चली आ रही है, वैसे पिछले 4-5 साल से कि नेक्स्ट ईयर होगा.
5 साल से नहीं, ये 15 साल से चल रहा है. I think 2007 the first time it was discussed. I don't see it happening because there is no, again, we already this season we have a problem with the window. साफ चैंपियनशिप कब होगा? साफ क्लब चैंपियनशिप कब होगा?
only time is July, and I think वहां पे तो आपको रेस्ट कराना पड़ेगा. That is the issue,
and that will not happen. The international tournaments, competitions is so it's again, Roshan, you're right, very tough game. Enough Bahar, but I think Mumbai City look in a better groove than they were 2 weeks ago. So who knows, you know.
Draw would Mumbai be City, also a big result. Draw would be
Draw would be a massive result for Mumbai City. Anything but a loss would be a big result for Mumbai City. So therefore, yeah, that's the reality.
Yes, 80 people watching us. Please subscribe to all the free channels: Curious Harry, Arun Foot, Sports Khabri. We are coming up with these lives every night. At least we're trying to do them every night. We do miss out on some days. And if there are any specific topics you'd like us to cover, please do let us know, and we'll try to create specific videos for them. Some more comments coming in on this.
And one more thing not to forget, Shayan is missing today because he's a little busy shopping in Kolkata, got stuck in traffic. But also do follow Indian Food and Football, and Shayan should be back tomorrow with us.
अच्छा, ये कल किसका मैच है? कल गोवा
We
का
have
है ना?
Goa and
That's an
Punjab.
exciting game.
Goa match. Yes. Goa
Goa
and Punjab.
versus Punjab FC.
पंजाब
Punjab
एफसी।
FC.
आई
Punjab
थिंक गोवा
FC.
को इस सीजन देखने के लिए काफी ज्यादा लोग एक्साइटेड है, मतलब इसके अंदर जिस तरह की टीम बनाई, क्योंकि सबको यही लगता है कि अगर मुंबई एंड मोहन बगान को कोई टक्कर दे पाएगा तो ये यही टीम है। सो दैट्स व्हाई इट्स इंटरेस्टिंग टू सी कि किस तरह की शुरुआत वो करते हैं आईएसएल की।
And Punjab is still not settled in the league. No? Against Mohun Bagan, you saw they had their moments, and they've been having their moments since the Super Cup. I felt Super Cup they could have done some. Duran Cup they played well against East Bengal and Mohun Bagan, but they're not getting the goals at the right time. So I think they need that one game where they get those goals.
ये सर इसका ये इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन है बेंजोब खरगावकर का कि उज्बेक हैज अ मिक्सचर ऑफ प्लेयर हु आर फ्रॉम सोवियत यूनियन लाइक यूक्रेन, रशिया, जॉर्जिया, बेलारूस, इवन जर्मन।
But that's the Soviet Union, na? Because in the Soviet Union the people moved around, so it's de facto Russian, na? Russian with an Asian touch. So therefore they are a solid side. So be it Navbahar, be it the Uzbek national team. Uzbek national team at the moment, their best players are playing in Europe. So therefore, it'll be interesting to see.
साहिल तवोरा की परफॉर्मेंस आप कैसे देखते हैं?
Okay था yesterday, no?
ठीक खेला।
He and Hitesh Sharma did the job in the middle, no? Yeah, let's see if Noah Sadui hat-trick coming tomorrow.
He should be scoring hat-trick. Captain बनाया मैंने उसको. He should be scoring hat-trick.
Okay. Also, did anybody manage to find tickets to the Mumbai game?
अरे वो रजिस्ट्रेशन हुआ ना, 1 घंटे में रजिस्ट्रेशन खत्म हो गया ना। तो अभी नेक्स्ट प्रोसीजर क्या होगा सर, कि जो रजिस्ट्रेशन किया है उसमें से डिमांड होगी, उस हिसाब से टिकट दे देंगे।
See, demand will outstrip supply.
अच्छा, 38,000 से भी, और मतलब 40K अगर लाते हैं वो लोग, अलाउ करते हैं, तो उससे भी ज्यादा डिमांड है क्या?
I would have said 3 lakh 4 lakh डिमांड तो होगा ये मैच के लिए, because there are people in Mumbai who will never go to an Indian football game but would be willing to go because it's Neymar, and not only from Mumbai, from across India. And I've told people who jokingly were telling me that they want to go, I said, by Neymar injury, what happens then? Which can always happen.
काफी सारे लोग बोल रहे थे कि वो क्या बोलते हैं कि यहाँ पे वो ग्रास है वो वाला है, तो उसमें वो नहीं खेलेगा, उसमें उसको नहीं खिलाएंगे। जैसे मेसी को मना कर दिया वहाँ पे MLS में उसमें खेलने के लिए, इस तरह से यहाँ पे भी ये लोग करेंगे कि उस ग्रास पे नहीं खेलेगा ये।
I don't think so, but again, Neymar and injury are part and parcel of his career, so therefore it has nothing to do. So yeah. So Wenger asking about the 420 grams episode. Did you guys watch it? By any chance, have you watched it?
No. Now I want to.
Brilliant. I think compliments to especially pundits to come out and say what he said. He's made a complete mockery of this whole Bosnia thing. Milosevic was on Friday signed, and again there was this one unknown Bosnian portal which has posted that Stimac was in the running, and on that day afternoon Stimac got an offer from the AFF to extend. I think interesting expose for people who seem to have been close to the AFF. I mean, that says it all. I mean, it's a joke that's happening at the AFF, and it's another chapter being added to it, and people are being fooled, right? There was never an offer from Bosnia.
Even the Al Hilal tickets, I want to also understand that of course the registration they were closed in 1 hour, but I do not see that kind of buzz around me where people are talking about Neymar coming to India or a match of this level happening in Mumbai. Of course, people who we follow on social media who are into Indian football, they are talking about it, but I still do not see the kind of buzz that I expected, especially after how a lot of people wanted Argentina and Messi to come and play in India. Like that kind of created a false hope in the eyes of a lot of fans that something like this.
It's the wrong timing.
Okay.
I think
As
it's their own time. I feel again. I think at the moment it's the timing of the Cricket World
Cricket
Cup.
World Cup.
There's too much
Hmm.
focus on it, and therefore, yeah, it's it's a reality. And but again, there were enough tickets. I know that there's enough interest and buzz in Mumbai for these tickets. Maybe it's a little too early to talk about it, because again, you know how it happens in India. Beginning of November, everyone will be running around and wanting tickets.
Hmm.
So therefore, yeah, then it's too
ये
late, right?
ये
Yeah.
सर इसका क्रिकेट की वजह से देखिए कल स्टोरी आ रही है कि जो कोलकाता में मोहन बगान एंड इसके मैचेस है ईस्ट बंगाल के डर्बी तो पोस्टपोन के बाद चल ही रही है लेकिन उसके अलावा दूसरे
It's
मैचेस पे शिफ्ट
the
हो गए.
derby. No. The problem is not cricket.
Hmm.
The problem is it's the festive season in Kolkata. Kolkata police will not provide you. Again, they've scheduled matches during Durga Puja and during Saraswati. This is the day
लेकिन
after
लेकिन सर
Saraswati, Lakshmi Puja. Sorry.
नहीं उसी 28 अगस्त को ही 28 अक्टूबर को ही बांग्लादेश नेदरलैंड का मैच है तो उसमें आपको
But
सिक्योरिटी देनी है
Bangladesh, Netherlands in
उसी दिन
Kolkata,
पाकिस्तान
कितने लोग जाएगा?
पाकिस्तान टीम उसी दिन अराइव कर रही है उसी दिन वो
ठीक है. See, that is not a problem. Bangladesh, Netherlands cricket match. I don't know how many people will go to Eden Gardens.
हम्म,
If India
लेकिन
was playing, it's a different thing. Kolkata police would not even allow India to play on that day in Kolkata. Kolkata police are gods. Listen, they don't care who. If Shah Rukh Khan wants to turn up, say, "Bhai, come 3 days later." That's the way they operate. I remember we did the last match in the first season of the IPL was the day that Bayern Munich arrived for the Oliver Kahn match in Kolkata in 2008. And both Knight Riders and Bayern Munich were staying at Sonar Bangla. The security at that hotel was insane. So therefore, it can happen. But these are kind of things that, especially Kolkata police, it's also a question that Sushmit and I were talking the other day. That the issues are there, that at the moment police is not allowing more than 30,000 fans to come, and Mohun Bagan is at 29.5 the other night, right? So these are real problems. These are, with the police, with the authorities. It's not easy. There's online ticketing is a very tough thing in Kolkata at the moment. I think that has to sort of settle in as well, because they want tickets to be stamped, they want tickets to be distributed in a certain way, and that is again and a derby, with all that has happened around the last 2-3 derbies with violence and other things. Kolkata police, if they don't have the manpower, will not, or not even Kolkata police. Sorry, I'm saying Kolkata police. Actually, Bidhan Nagar police, the Salt Lake police. It will not happen. So therefore, yeah.
लेकिन
It's the
वो
right.
दूसरे मैचेस का ये आ रहा है कि अभी जो अक्टूबर मंथ में ये जो वहाँ की वेस्ट बंगाल है गवर्नमेंट है वो यहाँ पे सोल्ट लेक को अवेलेबल नहीं करेगी तो जो मैचेस है मोहन बगान या फिर ईस्ट बंगाल के दूसरे मैचेस उसको भी शिफ्ट करना पड़ेगा.
So I'm just checking. So East Bengal has a match on the 21st against Goa.
गोवा हाँ वो वाला.
That is Pujo, Durga Pujo.
हाँ तो वही बोल रहा हूँ
I
वो
mean,
शिफ्ट करना
the whole city is on the road walking. I mean, which idiot scheduled a match on the 21st of October in Kolkata during Pujas? There's someone who hasn't done his homework. How can you? I mean, during Durga Puja, metros, for example, run all night. There are forget lakhs. There are millions of people who are doing pandal hopping, walking from here to there. People walk 10, 12, 15, 20 kilometers. There is no opportunity. If you are even saying I'm staying at the Hyatt and I want the team to get to the hotel, most probably you can't even come around the road to get into the stadium. So that match, that was one, and the other one was, when was this? Mohun Bagan ka nahi tha. And again, the derby on the 28th. It's Lakshmi Puja. Look, Lakshmi Puja that day, no chance. Even if you said, listen, I'll postpone it by day, put it on 29th. So therefore, these kind of things, festive holidays in an Indian context, or if there are other things, if police cannot provide security, you will not be able to do it. So therefore, this scheduling 21st and 28th, whoever's done it, totally wrong. They should have, again, you have, the FIFA break for the Merdeka Cup. That's a sad one, because you could have most probably done a few matches before that, but you
उस
can't
उस
because
टाइम
again,
पे उस टाइम पे ये दोनों क्लब्स के आपको अवे मैचेस रख देने चाहिए थे.
हाँ.
That would be better.
But derby तो away matches दोनों ही नहीं हो सकता ना.
नहीं,
So,
डरबी तो रखना ही नहीं था, डरबी तो रखना ही नहीं था. लेकिन जो ये गोवा वाला मैच है उसको मतलब अवे में होता उसका, तो आप कर सकते था ना.
So these are small things, but again they're big things, and again it is not so easy.
And
So-
unavoidable. I think these are things that better planning could have easily avoided.
Yes, I mean, Lord Baker's talking about rescheduling Asian Cup days. Listen, the Asian Cup days, camp days, and the days of camps for World Cup qualifier are going to be minimal because what the coach has said. So therefore, the scheduling was tough this season. You've got the Asian Cup. You started early to accommodate everything, but you can't. And again, we want football to run in April. Okay, we want football to run. How many of us would want football to run in parallel to the IPL? We'll watch it, right? But there are not millions of people who are going to watch it. Football will be literally drained out of the media because of IPL.
Because the Geo Cinema will also not have space.
Already now they don't have space. No? Why don't they have a pre-show and all that stuff? Because the people who are going to do World Cup, the Anand Tyagis of this world will do World Cup in a few days. They're prepping for that. They don't want a distraction from some obscure sport called football, right? So that's again, I don't like it. We all don't like it. But that's a reality of how things are in regard to football or in regard to all sports outside of cricket in India these days.
Anurag has also mentioned an important point. Guwahati match on 21st October will also be difficult.
वो बोल रहे कि गुवाहाटी में डिफिकल्ट हो जाएगा ये 21st को करना, तो
No, but they're playing in Kochi. That match, 21st match, to me and the schedule shows it's going to be played in Kochi, Anurag.
अच्छा.
So
तो
again,
उसके बाद एक कोई मेरे को बता रहा था कि नवंबर के फर्स्ट वीक या फिर अक्टूबर में गोवा में भी फेस्टिवल है, उसी दिन मैच है गोवा का कोई फेस्टिवल है.
That's what I'm telling you, know, that we have not, whoever's done this, that's why it's not been finalized. I mean, I remember we had matches in the first season during Diwali. Mumbai Police were not happy with us, but we still did it. But we did a match day -1 training session with a police escort from Worli to DY Patil. It took us over 2 hours with the police escort. And I was sitting next to Freddie Ljungberg, who was always doing this to me. 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes.
Yes, we did discuss the AFC Cup matches, Sushmit, but if there's anything else, both Hiren and Arno, you think we missed out on? Or if
I think Mohun Bagan Mazia, I think is a match for Mohun Bagan to win very clearly. They have that momentum on their side. If I'm not wrong, the only match they've lost was against East Bengal in that first derby in the Durand Cup. Mazia is dangerous. Should not be underrated, and it'll be interesting to see how Mohun Bagan shape up if they're going to be playing 6 foreigners or not. So therefore, that'll be interesting.
Deepak, we've already read your comment, and in the upcoming podcast that we'll be tally on Indian football.
Interesting उसका comment है. आप देखिए, sometimes I get confused whether Stimac is good for India or not. He has been able to produce result, but at times he looks very manipulative.
Yes.
And the second part for me is more disturbing than the first part. And the question is, I ask, who has he gotten results against? Has he beaten any biggies? For example, like Hong Kong beat today Iran. Has he beaten a big team? He always has he's always got a reasons. He's always got a reason why things are not working.
अच्छा, एजे स्टाइल्स बोल रहे हैं कि दुर्गा पूजा है तो फुटबॉल ही सिर्फ क्यों बंद हो रहा है, क्रिकेट भी बंद करो.
No, cricket is running because why? The BCCI and the ICC will be paying the authorities for those matches to go ahead. No? Football wants free security. So that is also a difference.
That's
The metro
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
services, the metro services are run till or after even midnight, if I'm not wrong, and they pay for it. KKR pays for it. If East Bengal and Mohun Bagan are ready to say, bhai, till midnight, 10 metro trains, Salt Lake Stadium, government bolega, bhai, pay us 10 lakhs. They won't be able to do it. Na? These are the realities. Na?
वो मनोहर खींचा ऐसा करके बोलेगा कि खाली है आप दो हमको 10 लाख.
And there must be private security also in place, right, Arnav, for these
They
games?
are in the stadiums, there are private securities, but the main gates are mainly, and there are, of course, the clubs have their own sort of security officer and systems in place, but the security is mainly manned by the police. And again, Kolkata still runs by the rules implemented in 2017 for the Under-17 World Cup. And again, a FIFA competition to me is something different than a league. People are not allowed to bring in umbrellas or a helmet or this or that. Even theoretically, a power bank is not allowed. And yeah, Sushmit is right. Private security cannot handle rowdy fans in Kolkata. Private security either will start beating them up or they will run away. So there are two options, right? Some of these security guys look like, they've just come from WWE or MMA, and some look like they've not had food for the last 5 years. So, but there's nothing in between. So that's your point. So therefore, again, if let's be honest, if you are private security, you are getting paid whatever you're paid. Most probably you're not being paid enough. Why would you pick a fight with these guys? Your life is more important than that, right? These guys,
Exactly.
you never know what they're going to do. So it's not, again, for fans, sometimes I feel it's very, very difficult to understand these kind of acts. So that is my point in this. When we set up the stuff in Mumbai City, it was very, very clear that you have to work around things. And again, DY Patil now, and again, Akshita and I did a separate episode on that. If you want to listen to it, with regard to Alil Hal coming to Mumbai now, to Navi Mumbai to play at the DY Patil, it's a lot of things, right? So therefore, yeah. So that's it's not easy. So security is police in India is always a very, 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 very difficult topic. But it's again in Germany as well. In Germany they think that football is a religion, so clubs who are making millions should not be paying for it. And one state, actually Werder Bremen, now has to pay for it because the state of Bremen has said we will not provide free police security. So therefore, okay. And again, if, for example, we had a derby here in Remscheid, 6th division against 4th division, 3,500 in the stadium. You have about 50 people who are private security, but about 300, 400, I think, were police in there. That's the realities. And it's not an Indian thing, it's a global thing when it comes to security and policing. Again, you have your internal, you have your external who come on match days, and you have on top of that the general policing.
A lot of questions on StreamAd, so I will, like, while we are reading the comments, I also want to add on to this. The 48 hours that he had asked for are now over. Do we have any update on that, on the decision he was planning to make, on the discussions he was planning to have with the concerned members? And also, in the last few days, we can see that more and more people are questioning what he has done for Indian football, and people are starting to see the kind of excuses or the kind of things that did not really go right for him, right?
I want to understand on that कि जो उन्होंने डिमांड रखी है, मतलब जो अभी न्यूज़ अभी तक जो मतलब जहाँ तक ऑफिशियल या फिर एक जो ट्रस्टेड जो इन्फॉर्मेशन आई है वो ही है कि यहाँ पे एफएफ ने मेल लिखा है कि हम 2 साल का आपको एक्सटेंशन देना चाहते हैं। और उसके रिस्पॉन्स में ईगो स्टीम साहब ने ये बोला है कि भाई आप मेरे को अगर क्या बोलते कि होल हार्टेडली अगर सपोर्ट करोगे, बैक करोगे, तभी मैं आऊँगा। तो इसका क्या मतलब मीनिंग निकाला जाए? व्हाट डज दिस मीन? वो मतलब एएफएफ क्या ये प्रूफ दे कि हम तो आपको हर में कोई भी मैच होगा इंटरनेशनल तो उससे पहले 2 वीक का कैंप्स देंगे, ये सारी ये एश्योरेंस दे, जो कि उनके हाथ में भी आई डोंट थिंक सो कि है, एएफएफ के हाथ में भी नहीं है वो डिसाइड करना कि वो दे पाएंगे कि नहीं दे पाएंगे।
And my question is also adding on to what Harry just said, that it's a very subjective thing to ask for. क्या आप wholeheartedly मेरे को support करेंगे नहीं? So in the contract, how are these things mentioned?
Exactly.
See,
Like there must be some pointers, right?
actually we've gone past that level since there has been, an astrologer involved. So therefore, we are in like, again, it is so ridiculous. Sorry guys, it is so ridiculous in my opinion that we're even talking about a contract extension. That the man is still in the job. That it's, I don't know. I seriously don't know. You've show caused him. He doesn't turn up for press conferences. You've said, yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly, Lord Baker, perfect. I mean, I really don't know. And again, who have the results? Again, they always, when the results don't work or the team is not playing well, you have a reason why this and that has, and everybody else is to blame. It's not your fault. It's everybody else's fault. It's the AFF's fault. It's the players' fault. The players can't play football, and you have been abuses to players. I know from people in Europe that you've said bad things about your own players. I don't even know if the players know that, right? So, what the hell are we talking about? He's one of the highest paid coaches in India. So that's the reality. That's the reality. And this whole thing is slowly backfiring. It's good to see that people are asking these questions finally, right? But it's not getting through. And Ashu, perfectly, who's the employee, who's the employer? Because again, the secretary seems to be on a trip. I'm here today, tomorrow, whatever. Today posted some pictures with some women. I don't know what that was about. Enjoying himself. And this is, and again, where are we going with all of this? We're going nowhere. Pankaj, you asked a very, very pertinent question in regard to, a question which Akshata, I think, asks now every day on Twitter, right? Or have you discontinued with that?
No, that's my favorite question to ask.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
I just want to point out one thing, that some clubs have managed to rope in sponsors. Yes, the ISL is struggling to find any sort of sponsor. They don't have the title sponsor. They don't have any sponsor. But some clubs have managed to find sponsors. Yes or no?
Yes, and there was a point that I go back to that conversation with on 420 grams. Good that we're quoting them. Hope they'll quote us next time as well. That Arjun Pandit said, and of course he works not only in football but also in cricket, and said, listen, due to the Cricket World Cup, a lot of sponsorship is going into that Cricket World Cup, and that's the reality. If cricket is the number one sport in India.
Yep.
So
and also,
yeah.
Sorry, Anurag, please go ahead.
No, I'm just reading Ashu's comment. If that happens, great.
ऐसा फिक्स नहीं होता भाई आंसू 26 भाई इसमें ये डिस्क जब मिल जाए तब वाली बात है इसमें फिक्स नहीं होता कि भाई मेरे का विंडो में मिल जाएगा या मिल जाएगा
if they had a sponsor today they would announce it either today or tomorrow. They will not wait
exactly.
Because they know the FSDL knows that there are a lot of questions being asked. Forget asking questions. The clubs are asking questions, right? That backdrop at the moment is non-existent. I mean, you've got EISL on that. You've got Viacom 18, Geo Cinema, and I don't know what. And Nivea. You've at least got a ball sponsor.
Also, just to give you one other perspective, when you look at the ICC World Cup or you look at some other tournaments, the sponsors are decided way in advance. They know where they will be put on the field. They know what kind of advertisements they can create with the athletes or with the league. Apart from that,
but not always, Akshata. Just one correction. In the IPL, sometimes they announce sponsors in the last 3 days as well.
Yes. Of course, even in the IPL,
that happens. But ICC is a different ball game because ICC is like a thing like FIFA, and those guys normally sell their rights in cycles and sell their rights for multiple tournaments, right? I mean,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
the division has come between in FIFA or UEFA, whatever, or even in the AFC, they're trying to now divide the sponsorship into the men's game and the women's game. So there's specific sponsors for the UEFA Women's Champions League, for example. But they
Yeah.
also, some of these also then don't sponsor the men's Champions League, but sponsor the Europa League or the Europa Conference League.
They keep
So
on
therefore,
expanding once they sign the deal. Yes, yes.
yeah, so
Exactly.
therefore these kind of things happen. But the point at the moment is, even if you see the sponsors who've come in, there's a lot of deals that have happened which are in the end barter deals, which means there's no, again, to explain barter, means that you are exchanging a service or a product, but there is no cash component. For example, what is happening between AFF and Indigo, right? That is a non-commercial deal in that way. It's a non-cash deal. And Indian youth cricket conquers football sponsors. No, it's not about football sponsors. It's about sponsors. If I am a sponsor, or if you are a sponsor, any one of us is a sponsor, and you've got a budget to spend, you will spend the budget on something where you realize is that you will get the eyeballs, or you will get the interactions. What is that in India? It is either Bollywood or it is cricket.
Yeah.
And everything else doesn't count.
To give you an example, pickleball is picking up in India, and they have tied up with certain Bollywood celebrities because that's how they know that, and they have managed to get some sponsors.
But that's how season 1 of the ISL worked, right? I mean, I worked at Mumbai City, so we had Ranbir Kapoor as our or is still one of the stakeholders. Virat Kohli has a stake in FC Goa. Abhishek Bachchan and Mahendra Singh Dhoni are involved in Chennai, and Sachin Tendulkar used to be involved with Kerala Blasters. You know, your other stars, celebrities. Saurav Ganguly was involved in the original Athletic de Kolkata and ATK before he became BCCI president. John Abram owns and runs Northeast United. So all of these clubs, not all, but most of the clubs have some sort of celebrity component. And the point is, if you look at Indian football, and this is something which the AFF needs to think about, Mr. Steamach with a lot of these things has made sorry, Lord Big, forgot Hrithik Roshan with Pune City, that he's made a laughing stock of us. So that is something that, you know, Ashu, yes, if it's a dream project, I don't know.
इसके लॉन्ग टर्म कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस होते हैं जो आप अभी तो आपको लग जाता है कि सारी चीजें हो गई है, लेकिन जैसे अभी किसी ने बोला इंडियन एरोस का, डेफिनेटली इंडियन एरोस आपने बोला था कि भाई हम उसकी जगह पे कोई एलिट यूथ लीग करके आए, उसका कुछ अता पता नहीं है, तब तक तो आप स्टार्ट कर रख सकते थे, मतलब आपके पास जब तक कोई यूथ लीग का स्ट्रक्चर नहीं बनाते आप या फिर उस लेवल के नहीं चले जाते तब तक आप अभी ये जो 3-4 आई थिंक एक तो कोविड की वजह से ऑलरेडी आई थिंक जो हमारे जो यंगर जनरेशन ये 2-3 साल वाले आ रही है वो ऑलरेडी मतलब वो उस लेवल की नहीं है जो उससे पहले वाली, जो मतलब आई थिंक लास्ट जो बढ़िया बैच हमें मिला था वो जो 2017 फीफा वर्ल्ड कप वाला था, उसके ही मोस्ट ऑफ द प्लेयर्स आर प्लेइंग इन द नेशनल टीम और वहां पे उसके बाद आप देखिए एक पूरा गैप आ गया है, उसका वही रीजन है कि आप आपकी यूथ लीग के कोई कंपटीशन नहीं है। साहब भी आप देख ले, आपने कल साहब जीत लिया, सब बात कर रहे साहब जीत गए, लेकिन जिन्होंने देखा है उनको पता है भाई किस तरीके से आप जीते हो, क्या प्लेयरों की क्वालिटी,
रेड कार्ड्स कहाँ मिलते हैं कहाँ नहीं मिलते हैं।
नहीं ये जो अंडर 19 का भी जीते हैं उसका भी पता है। और ये एशियन गेम्स के बाद भी मेरे को सबसे, मैं कल भी बोला था फैंस को कि जो सबसे डिसअपॉइंटिंग चीज ये है कि सभी ने उसको, मतलब फैंस ने और एएफएफ ने एंड कोच ने, सबने उसको इसी में काउंट कर दिया कि हम अंडर प्रिपेयर थे, इसलिए अगर प्रिपेयर होके भी आते, फर्स्ट टीम भी लेके आते तो क्या कर लेते, सऊदी के सामने क्या कर लेते। तो आप देख, ये उसकी बजाय आप ये सोचे ना कि हम यहाँ पे क्या अच्छा कर सकते हैं, इससे क्या अच्छा कर सकते हैं, उसके बारे में किसी ने बात नहीं की, सबने ये बोल दिया कि भाई चलो हम अंडर प्रिपेयर थे इसलिए हमारा टूर्नामेंट ऐसा चला गया, लेकिन आप सीखने की बात या फिर चेंज करने की बात किसी ने नहीं की।
No, but my question is also this, that all teams, take the Chinese out, under prepared आया, under 23 जो हुआ और now Asian Games, दूसरा टीम कैसे खेल रहा है? Everyone has that league problem, release का problem, दूसरा टीम कैसे खेल रहा है?
And also, I really feel that when Pakistan came to India and they lost that match, we were so proud of our team, and we were so hard on the Pakistan team that, like they. But why don't we then give the benefit of doubt to our opponents? We
वही
should
मैंने
also
अभी आप
understand कि
वो रेफरी का ये बोला, जब अपनी टीम पे आता है तब सब कुछ गलत लगता है, जब
Has
दूसरे की टीम
anyone
के साथ होता
questioned
है
any penalty that
नहीं
Sunil
होता है.
Chhetri has scored in the last few matches?
हाँ,
कोई नहीं पूछा ना.
नहीं.
Somebody has asked
So,
about the 1xBet Pari match thing. Betting is not legal in India, so all of these brands
आपने
are
आपने
not
देखा
legal.
ड्रीम 11 ने वो किया कि उतना आपको डिस्काउंट दे रहे हैं, वो जीएसटी वाला.
कुछ ना कुछ हो जाएगा, अभी चल रहा है ना लॉट,
हाँ.
अभी अभी है हियरिंग, अभी है, तो अभी कुछ ना कुछ तो उनका भी होगा. I think this will be brought up.
but Akshata, it's a gray area. So it's a this whole betting surrogate advertising is a very, very gray area in an Indian context. There's no decision. The government knows about it, and I still think that some level of betting should be allowed, because it brings in tax money to the government, which you are not getting, because it all goes out either into these kind of platforms, or it goes out to with these platforms which operate abroad, or to illegal betting platforms or setups, whatever that is, right? So so let's see. I think it's I mean, we have to be honest. I think most of the clubs would be struggling even more if these betting sites were not pumping in money.
Yeah, most of
And I
them are
think,
the title sponsors.
most of them are front of shirt
shirt
sponsors.
sponsors.
Exactly. Yeah, front of shirt sponsors. And if you see, for example, calmly, quietly, Mohun Bagan Supergiant had Parry match, and then suddenly they won the Duran Cup in Parry match, and 2 days later, suddenly you see 1xBet, which was actually last season East Bengal's front of shirt sponsor, who had a new battery as a new thing, but this battery didn't have a website, so they created a website because it's surrogate of someone. It's crazy what's been happening in that background.
Yeah.
And the
It was good
crypto
to see.
ones, the cryptos or the NFT ones, socios and all, most of them are disappeared.
They're struggling in their own self, right? There are so
ASU
many
26, I think ASU 26 is a good comment. कि because other countries federation don't take excuse as an answer and give extension. I think हमारी जो mentality है ना, वो भी कहीं ना कहीं वो मतलब settle इन वाली है कि चलो ये अब ये था तो इसलिए हम ये हो गए. हम ये नहीं, मतलब बेस्ट के लिए हम नहीं जा रहे हैं. आप भले ही मतलब आप जीत गए 1-0 से, आप जीते हो किसी टीम के सामने, लेकिन फिर भी आप इंप्रूव तो कर ही सकते हो. लेकिन हम सेटिस्फाई हो जाते हैं कि चलो भाई इसको तो 1-0 से हरा दिया, ये कर दिया. एक्सक्यूज एशियन गेम्स में एक्सक्यूज मिल गया कि भाई चलो प्रिपेयर नहीं थे, नहीं तो हम क्या ही झंडे गाड़ लेते. मतलब फिर भी अगर सऊदी यही टीम मिलती तो यही रिजल्ट इसी के अराउंड होता.
अरे round of 16 again, 16 out of 24 teams were qualifying for the next stage. A prepared or an underprepared India, if you do not get to the next stage, to me is very, very embarrassing. Getting to the quarterfinals was never in question, because you would face the top team in one group or the other. So take it. All that tamasha for nothing. Na? That's the problem. And this is one thing which people don't realize. All this thing, if I talk to people, someone from England sent me a thing the other day about Steema Chand, that astrologer thing. That thing has gone around the world. People are laughing about us. So these are things. And yes, Youth Indian, you're right. I mean, news creates it, but again, the local media, the big English language media, news channels, they only, I mean, normally this astrologer thing should be mainstream news in Indian television, because it's a brilliant story for main I mean, television. And then Indian football would become a serial in itself, or a soap opera, I don't know, Love Island or whatever it would become. So that is our problem. That is my concern. So ठीक है.
अलखेती खेल सकता है भाई लेफ्ट, लेकिन आउट एंड आउट लेफ्ट फिंगर तो वो है नहीं, तो इनसाइड फॉरवर्ड ही खेल सकता है वो वहां पे भाई एसीएल में. साना सिंह को क्यों नहीं लिया भाई? मेहताब, आई थिंक लैलन चुंगला आ चुका है, सो आई थिंक साना या मेहताब में से किसी एक को जगह जानी थी. That's the case.
I mean, there are 3-4 players who I said I would have liked again, but then the question is, Apuya is not in the squad. Yes, Lord Baker, exactly. Apuya is not there. but then Apuya was saying in the media what I think Apuya had to say in the media to have a future in the Indian national team if he has any. I would have liked to have seen Parthiv Gogoi given a chance with the form that the boy is in. And Rahul KP. I don't know why Rahul KP, despite showing glimpses of what he can play at the Asian Games, why Rahul KP wasn't picked. So therefore, again, and there's no explanation of why is X player chosen, why.
एग्जैक्टली सर, मेरे को सबसे बुरी बात यही लगती है कि फैंस मतलब हर चीज ये बड़ी बड़ी करते रहते हैं। आप एक भी मैच के बाद एक्सप्लेनेशन नहीं है कि किस तरह से आप कोई टेक्टिकल बात नहीं हुई कि आपने क्यों सब्स्टिट्यूशन, आपने लेबनान वाला गेम मेरे को लगता है कि यू भी आपने मतलब लाइटली ले लिया या फिर टेक्टिकली आप क्या मतलब आपने किया समझ में नहीं है, उसीलिए आप हारे हैं। अदरवाइज वो लेबनान वाला गेम किंग्स कप का आप निकाल लेते, वो निकालने वाला गेम था। ना कोई एक्सप्लेनेशन है उसके बाद, कोच आपका कहीं पे आके रिस्पॉन्स खुद रिस्पॉन्सिबल नहीं बन रहा और आप सभी को मतलब पूछ रहे हो कि ये आप ये नहीं करते, आप ये नहीं करते, आप ये इसको नहीं खिलाते, आप स्ट्राइकर आईएसएल में रूल बना दो कि आप स्ट्राइकर उसको, तुमने सुनील छेत्री जब अवेलेबल हो तो एक बार भी नहीं खिलाया दूसरे प्लेयर को और आप दूसरे को बोलते हो, तो ये मतलब आपकी ओर से भी तो एक्सप्लेनेशन आना चाहिए ना। मेरी सिंपल सी बात ये है, आप डिमांड रखो, अच्छी बात है, आपको जो चाहिए आप बोलो, आप मीडिया में आके बोल रहे हो, प्रेशर डाल रहे हो, अच्छी बात है, लेकिन आप भी तो एक्सप्लेनेशन दो कि आप आपने ये सारी चीजें क्यों की।
Wholehearted support का मतलब है no questions है।
और फैंस को मैं बोलना चाहूंगा एक लास्ट कि ना तो भाई ईगो स्ट्रीमिंग को सपोर्ट करो, ना एएफएफ करो, ना क्लब को करो, ना एफएसडीएल को करो। इंडियन फुटबॉल के लिए जो अच्छा कर रहा है उसकी बात करो, अगर कोई गलत कर रहा है तो उसकी बोलो। एफएसडीएल गलती कर रहा है बोल रहे हैं हम, स्पॉन्सरशिप का बोल रहे हैं हम, तो ये तो नहीं बोल रहे कि एफएसडीएल सब कुछ सही कर रहा है। क्लब जहाँ पे गलती कर रहे हैं वो भी बोल रहे हैं हम, तो काफी सारे लोग क्योंकि क्या बोलते हैं टेक करते हैं कि आप एफएसडीएल और क्लब की अच्छी बात करते हो। ये एफएफ ने जो अच्छा किया है उसके बारे में भी बात करी है, जो ईगो स्ट्रीमिंग सामने जो रिजल्ट प्रोड्यूस किए थे, जो साफ इंटरकॉन्टिनेंटल, तो उसकी भी बात करी थी कि हाँ भाई चलो हमने साफ इस बार जीता है कुवैत, और उसके बावजूद होने के बावजूद भी हमने जीता है, जो कि एक अच्छी बात है। अब जब गलत चीज जहाँ पे हो रही है वो भी हम बोल रहे हैं, तो आपको ये भी तो देखना चाहिए। आप इंडियन फुटबॉल के बारे में सोचो ना भाई, ये लोग जो भी करे तो अपनी काम कर रहा है, जहाँ पे गलती करेंगे वो हमारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि हमको बोलना है कि आप ये गलत चीज कर रहे हो। तो आप इसमें जो क्या बोलते कि ईगो स्ट्रीमिंग बोल दे वो पत्थर की लकीर, ऐसा नहीं होता, वो भी गलती करता है और की है उसने पास्ट में भी गलती, ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं की है। तो हर चीज उसकी भी मत मानो, हर चीज एएफएफ की भी मत मानो, ये वाली चीज है। तो फैंस को ये सोचना चाहिए रादर देन टेकिंग साइड्स के भाई ये बोले हो। मतलब काफी सारे लोग उसके, सर मेरे को जब से ये क्या बोलते कि मेरे कप का स्कोर अनाउंसमेंट हुआ है, काफी लोगों के दिमाग में देखिए क्या इन्फ्लुएंस होता है, उसका एक एग्जांपल है कि काफी सारे फैंस ने पूछा है कि सर प्लेयर रिलीज होंगे क्या। मैं उसको बताते बताते थक गया कि भाई ये किसने आपको सिखा दिया कि भाई प्लेयर रिलीज नहीं होंगे। फीफा विंडो में क्लब्स को भी करना पड़ता है, एशियन गेम्स फीफा विंडो में नहीं था, इसलिए प्लेयर रिलीज करने के लिए वो बाउंड नहीं है, वो नहीं करना चाहते तो नहीं कर सकते। ये इसका रिजल्ट है। एशियन गेम्स में लोगों के दिमाग में ये घुस गया कि आगे जितने भी टूर्नामेंट आने वाले क्लब्स तो कभी प्लेयर ही रिलीज नहीं करेंगे, तो क्लब्स तो पूरे उनके लिए वही बन चुके हैं। और वो बोल रहे कि इसके लिए भी कैंप चाहिए। मैंने बोला भाई किसको मिलता है, फीफा की 200 रैंक की कंट्री है, और अगर उनके क्लब उनके प्लेयर्स अगर कोई प्रोफेशनल लीग में खेलते हैं, चाहे भले ही छोटी लीग हो लेकिन प्रोफेशनल लीग में खेलते हैं, तो वो भी भाई यहाँ पे फीफा विंडो में उनको टाइम नहीं मिलेगा, क्या बोलते हैं कैंप नहीं मिलेगा इतना, 3-4 दिन का ही कैंप मिलता है, चाहे कोई से भी फीफा रैंक 1 कंट्री हो या फिर 200 हो। तो लोगों को अब ये लगने लगा है कि नेशनल टीम के लिए मैच खेलना है तो आपको चाहिए 2 वीक का कैंप, 3 वीक का कैंप, 4 वीक का कैंप। एशियन कप के लिए आप डिमांड करो, वो मतलब सही बात है कि उसमें चाहिए, मतलब 1 वीक से नहीं होगा, अब 2-3 वीक की भी डिमांड करो, वो सही बात है। चलो वर्ल्ड कप क्वालिफायर्स के लिए चलो आपने किया, सही समझ में, लेकिन हर फीफा विंडो में आप बोल रहे हो, फैंस बोल रहे कि भाई इसमें कैंप नहीं है, और आप बोल दो कि फिर मेरे देखा बाहर गए, टाइम ही नहीं मिला था भाई। 8 अक्टूबर को तो आईएसएल खत्म हुआ, 13 अक्टूबर को मैच था, कहाँ जीत पाते। तो मलेशिया के जीतने के लिए भी आपको अब इतना टाइम लगे, तो आपके प्लेयर, ये तो मैंने नई क्वालिटी के प्लेयर देखे हैं, प्रोफेशनल प्लेयर, कि जिनको बिना ट्रेनिंग के तो कुछ होता ही नहीं है उनसे, मतलब सब कुछ वो भूल जाते हैं। ऐसे प्लेयर मैंने पहली बार देखे हैं, ऐसे तो कहीं पे प्लेयर नहीं होते। तो ये सारी चीजें यार फैंस को समझनी चाहिए। और आप एक बार मतलब लास्ट ईयर खुद ईगो स्ट्रीमिंग साहब बोल रहे थे कि प्लेयर को 40-50 मैच खेलने चाहिए यहाँ पे कम्पिटेटिव, अगर उनको वर्ल्ड स्टैंडर्ड से कम्पीट करना है, तो वो तो तभी हो पाएगा जब आपकी लीग एक्सपांड होगी। और अभी तो 12 क्लब है, अगर 20 क्लब होते तो आप क्या करते, तो फिर आपका पूरा शेड्यूल इतना टाइट हो जाता कि आपको 2-2 3-3 दिन इंटरनेशनल मैचेस के लिए मिलते, एक दिन मिलता। एक टाइम आप एक साइड आपको 20 क्लब भी चाहिए आईएसएल में, दूसरी टाइम आपको क्या बोलते हैं कि टाइम भी चाहिए। ये तो फीफा का कंपलसरी है कि मार्च, सितंबर, अक्टूबर, नवंबर इन 4 में फीफा विंडो आनी ही आनी है। अगर आप हर फीफा विंडो में 2-2, 3-3 वीक करोगे तो आईएसएल आपका होगा ही नहीं। क्लब तो फिर आप एक काम करिए कि क्लब ये लीग बंद कर दीजिए और आप पूरा मतलब टाइम पे क्या बोलते हैं कि वही करते रहिए कैंप। यदि 1 साल का प्रॉब्लम थोड़ी है, तो हर साल का प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा फिर। तो ये सारी चीजें समझनी चाहिए फैंस को, मतलब एक कोई भी एक क्या बोलते हैं नैरेटिव के पीछे भागना नहीं चाहिए और सारी चीजें समझ के अपने आप को रखना चाहिए।
That's the challenge.
Beautifully summed up, Rain. I mean, of course. और प्लीज गाइस, जो भी रेन ने बोला है उसको समझिए, एंड ऑल्सो किसी को भी प्लीज ब्लाइंडली जो भी आपको बाहर दिख रहा है ट्विटर पे सब कुछ ट्राई टू,
हमको क्या लेना देना। आपको
आपको
इगोस्टेमिक कोई $1 दे रहा है उसकी 26,000 सैलरी से, कोई एफएफ आपको कोई दे रहा है कि यहाँ पे एप्रिसिएशन, क्लब कुछ दे रहा है, एफएसडीएल कुछ दे रहा है। आपको भी इंडियन सपोर्ट के लिए, इंडियन फुटबॉल में जो अच्छा करता है उसको सपोर्ट करो ना भाई। जो अच्छी चीज कर रहा है अच्छा बोलो, जो नहीं कर रहा उसके बारे में बोलो कि अभी ये नहीं कर रहे आप। इसमें सपोर्ट जो भी बोल रहे हैं उसको ब्लाइंडली सपोर्ट करने की क्या जरूरत है।
समझ के देखिए कि क्या सही है क्या नहीं है। अगर आपको नहीं लग रहा है तो प्लीज रीड मोर ऑन इट, ट्राई टू watch more videos on it, अपना खुद का perception बनाइए rather than किसी का भी blindly follow करना।
Exactly, and again, we are doing enough of these shows around
और
the
इसमें
ISL
एक
games.
सॉरी सर,
Ask us.
हाँ एक ऐड कर दे दो। हमारी भी बात मानने की जरूरत नहीं कि हम भी 100% राइट है। हम जो बोलते हैं दूसरे बोलते हैं, आप चेक करो ना। आप अभी तो
maybe here and not, but हम जो बोलते हैं 100% ठीक है।
ठीक है। हाँ, मैं मेरी
Just
बात कर रहा
joking.
हूँ।
No. Always question. All of us also.
हाँ,
We
हाँ,
always question. Again, we are not anything special. Nobody is. Every human does mistakes or
हाँ,
has a opinions about things. The main thing is to understand here is that there is a lot of things going wrong, and it has to be called out. And nobody is in the position of wanting to call it out. We do it on our shows. And as Hiren has perfectly said it doesn't matter if it's the AFF, it's FSDL, if it's the clubs, if it's the players. You have to live with criticism. If you can't, find another job. And that's my honest opinion. And this is something which is very, very important. And hopefully, it'll change. So let's see what happens. And I think with that, let's slowly come towards the end. I think we've done nearly 1.5 hours. Of course, started off with the Blasters beating Jamshedpur FC, previewing tomorrow's AFC Cup encounters for Mohun Bagan, Supergiant, as well as Odisha FC. And then, of course, a little bit about the whole Steam Match thing, regards to our friends at 420 grams. Do follow the channels, do follow Sports Khabri, do follow Curious Harry, even though, of course, I'm trying to get him to change it to Furious Harry, but let's see. I think it'll take a little bit more time. Follow Cheyenne as well, who's not here today, Indian Food and Football, and do follow Aaron Foot. And we'll be coming. He's not Rant Harry. It is called Furious Harry. Please, Deepak, one correction. If Shushmit has given him the name of Furious Harry, and I think that is a nice one. But jokes apart, do follow the channels. Do like what we're doing. Do follow each other's things. And again, if you have questions again like this, we'll try to answer them. And let's try and see how Indian football gets better and hopefully grows. Thanks and good night. See you tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night. See you tomorrow.